Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to create a poster using a similar layout to the Moonlight poster that we looked at in class. So the first step is, you've already done this, is to set up a new document. So File, New. If you call it Moonlight Poster, click on the preset, set that to International Paper, and that will give you the A4 option. Click OK. Then what you need to do, you need to get your image. So if you go to Classroom, this document is, or the image that we're going to be using is available under the Resources section, and you want the Barack JPEG. If you download that, like so, and just wait for that to download. In Photoshop, what you need to do now is to go to File and open the image Barack. Okay, that'll open it up in another tab. First thing you need to do is to unlock the background, so you can either double click and click OK, or you can just drag the padlocked icon down to the recycle bin, or the bin. Okay, so we're going to zoom in to see a bit more of the image, so that's Command and plus. You can see this image has got a white background, so I want to remove this white background, so the tool you need for that is the Magic Wand tool. Well, there's a couple of tools you can use. I'm going to show you this one first. What this does is it selects a certain colour and selects all the colour that you can recognise on the image. What you can do is you can increase the tolerance so it can grab a little bit more, and that's up there at the top. Doesn't matter about deselecting. If you just click, it will make a new selection, so you can delete that. You know it's deleted because you've got the checkered background. Do that again. I'm just going to increase my tolerance. I've got a little bit here as well, so I'm just clicking and deleting. Okay, I am going to show you another selection tool, so if you go back, I'm just going to undo that. So deselect. Another tool that you can use is the quick selection tool. Change the brush size, like so, or you can use the bracket on the keyboard. What you can do is you can select inside the image. So instead of removing the white background this time, you are selecting the actual image. Okay, a little bit there with the eye. In order to delete the background here, what you need to do is you go to Select and Inverse, and then press Delete, and it will delete the background. Okay, the third way I'm going to show you, won't necessarily need it on this image, but it's a good tool to know. If you go to the one immediately above the Magic Wand tool, and you can go to the magnetic lasso, and what you do is you start around the image, and what it will do is it will select automatically the outline of that image. Okay, if you do make a mistake and you go a bit wayward, what you can do is just go back to the last point and press delete, and it will automatically undo your last selection. So I'm just doing this very quickly. You'll spend obviously a lot more time doing this. Okay, and the key is when you get to the starting point, if you hover over it, you'll get that little circular icon there. That means Photoshop has got the complete selection. Okay, so we've got his image. I'm going to switch to the Move tool. Next step is moving it over to our A4 document that we've got set up. Okay, first thing we need to do once we've transferred it over is Command and T, so we can resize it. hold down the shift key. Now it seems pixelated, but that'll change once you press enter. And there you've got your image with the background removed, moved over into the A4 document that you've set up. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to add a background. First thing you need to do here is to hide, by clicking on the eye icon, is to hide the image layer. Okay, gradient tool, so that's what we're going to add to it, is below the erase tool. Now if you've got a paint bucket showing, click and hold or right click and go to the gradient tool. We want to select the background by unlocking it, and then what we've got is we've got these options here. Double click it, and this is the gradient editor. This is the bar. We've got different presets here. I'm going to go with this top left one. Okay, by clicking on this button here, what you can do is you can change the colour. So you set one gradient. Gradient is basically multiple colours merging into one another, so you can tell Photoshop which colours you want. So I'm going to go with blue and OK. So set that up. Now gradient works quite easily. You just click and drag over. Okay, you can go different ways and reset it each time. The shorter the curve, the bigger the contrast to colour. If you do a long curve, it gradually shifts in. Okay, switch your other layer on. Now what you can see here is you've still got the remainder of the background from the other image. So using the eraser tool, you're just going to zoom in, make sure you've got the right layer selected, zoom in and just delete around the outside. It's all tidied up. Switch to that image there. What we want to do now is we want to do some image adjustments on the actual image. Okay, so we go up to Image, Adjustments and Black and White. That will open this dialog box here. You can adjust it and play around with it until you get something that you quite like. So, okay, and when you're happy with this, you can click OK. Now the next one we want to use is brightness and contrast. Okay, so what that does is you can either darken it by moving it down, so, or you can brighten it and make this one a little bit dark. Change the contrast slightly, and it is very much just looking at it by eye. You're happy with it, click OK. Now the other tool I want to show you, which is quite useful, it's worth knowing, is image adjustments and curves. So well, it seems quite complicated, but it is quite simple to use, and what this is it's just a graph of different levels of brightness on the image. And what you can do is you can click on, point to this graph and just adjust it like so. You can do multiple points. The higher up you go, the lighter it is. If you're pushing up, you're making it brighter. If you're pulling it down, you're making it darker. If you do make a mistake, you can just click on and pull off like so. Like that. Click OK. Next tool is adding your text. So we all know where the text tool is. So you click on that. You just click the cursor once, you don't draw a box. Okay, and then you've got your text cursor there. Now if you go to the text for film Word doc, you've already got the text in there. So copy and then paste that in. Okay, so we want to edit it, so you can Command and A by selecting it all, and then if we open the character toolbox, and then we've got this here. Increase the font like so. Okay, We want that going across the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to enlarge my image so the text fills or fits inside the top of the head, like so. Okay. And we can adjust it however we want. Okay. We're going to repeat that process for our title, which is, title of the poster is Moonlight. Okay, highlight that, repeat the process. Now I've put the font choices that I'd like to use in here. So for the Moonlight text we want Helvetica New, okay, which is just there. Because it's the title font, we want to make it a lot larger. Okay, we want to change the colour as well to make it more prominent, like so. Do that again. There we go. Now you can play around with the font by making the letters further apart, like so. You can make the letters thicker. I think I'm going to go with bold on this. Like that. Okay. Just going to put that text there, like that. Now I've noticed the text is going over the mouth a little bit, so I'm going to move my image up. Like so, perhaps just make it a little bit smaller. So I've got his ears in. There we go. So go back to my Moonlight text. I'm just going to show you something else here. If you click on it and then right click, go to this feature called blending options, and what this does is it allows you to edit certain elements of your Photoshop content. What I want to put on is put outer glow. So I've double clicked it and I've got access to all of these tools here. You can see the slight shift there, but I can adjust that even more. Increase the spread, okay. I can also increase the size, and this is really good if you want text to stand out. It's called outer glow, so you get a colour shining beneath the text. I'm going to change the colour to white. So I did there, I just clicked on the colour icon. So I'm quite happy with that. There we go. Now I've also noticed here the sharp edge, so I'm just going to tidy that up using the eraser tool. Okay, so I'm going to select my brush. I want this one here because I want a sharp edge. I'm going to make it bigger. Another little tip as well: if you hit the cap lock key, it changes. If you just see, it changes the style of the brush from crosshairs to a circle. Circle's better for this because you can see what's going on. So all I'm doing is just softening that edge there. Okay. Final thing that we're going to do is we are going to draw a text box, because this is where all our anchorage text is going to be. Okay. Go back to the text for film poster document, and I've just created this anchorage text here. You can see we want Helvetica font. Copy that, go back to Photoshop and just paste that in. Now it's retained the same font as we had for his Moonlight, so we want to change that. So I've highlighted it all, go to Helvetica, we want white, and obviously we want to reduce the font size. Okay, I'm just going to change the tracking a little bit, like so, and bring it down. It's not, you don't really want this text too small because it's not a big design feature of the poster, but it does make it look really conventional. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got my tagline, I've got my headline,